Hey there, thanks for your interest in FireShort. Let me walk you through how you can install it. So, the first thing you would have to do is to clone the repository. So, we copy the URL from GitHub and we open a new terminal session. We use the git clone and we have cloned the repository. Next, we need to change our working directory to the repository. Then, we do npm install to fetch all the required dependencies. Once all the dependencies are installed, we need to move to the next step. And the next step says that we need to edit the firebase.js file, but it will require us to have a project ID. For that, we'll have to create a new project on Firebase. So go to your Firebase console and create a new project. Say, for example, in our case, we are going to name our project FireShort, and it will have a ID, small ID, which is auto-generated and is unique for all the projects on Firebase. We don't need Google Analytics right now. You can configure Google Analytics for your project later on. That's really up to you. It will take a few moments to create a project, and once the project is ready, you will get it the continue option, and this is the dashboard. So let me show you quickly where you can find the general project settings. That is where you need to go for all your project settings, and currently there are no apps associated with our project. So we will add a web app, and let's just name it FireShort hosting. No, let it be just say FireShort. And we'll also have to set up Firebase hosting for this. We can actually enable the Firebase hosting later, but if you do it at this stage, then no harm done. So we'll do it here itself. Click on next for all the rest of the options that come up. And this is where you get your config, right? So you just have to click on that copy button and the config gets copied entirely. Now we will open our project in a favorite editor, and you have to paste that Firebase config in the firebase.js file. Just look at it right here, and this is where you need to paste it, and we'll save the file. The next thing we need to do is to edit firebase.json, and we need to paste the site name for our Firebase hosting site, right? So to get that site name, we need to go back to our Firebase console. We need to click on hosting, and you will be displayed with two URLs. You will have to click on get started if you do not get those, and once you do, continue to console, and you will see the domains associated with this account with this Firebase project, and you can actually just add more custom domains. So we'll copy the part before web.app, or maybe the part before firebase app.json. We'll copy the part before web.app, and that becomes our site name. Once we are done with this, we'll save it, and then we need to edit config.js to set the main site, right? So the main site is actually that website where people will be redirected to if they do not provide any valid slash something suffix part, right? So if you have your shortener at say short.site, then if they don't enter anything like short.site slash abc, then they will be automatically taken to um, the main site. The next thing we'll do is run the project locally and see that it's working. But before we do that, we need to enable authentication on the project, and we will set up the sign in method, and we'll enable email and password for this. And once we're done with that, let's try running it. And we just have to type npm start. It will take a while for the project to get started. Once the project is built, and yeah, so you should know, you will probably be taken to google.com or whatever main site you have specified, and you will actually have to type the slash admin or maybe slash login route there manually. And once you are logged into the portal, you will see that we have nothing here. Once you are done testing the live site, let's go ahead and put this to production. Before we put this to production, we'll have to make a production build. For doing so, you'll have to type npm run script build, and the build process starts. Once the build process completes, it will give you a summary of the entire process. And the next thing you need to do is to use the Firebase deploy command. But for using that, you will actually have to install the Firebase CLI. For that, go to the Firebase documentation, click on reference, and come to the overview. You'll be able to find the installation instructions for your platform here. For me, it's the npm way that I prefer. You need to copy that command, paste it into the terminal, and the process starts. Once the installation is complete, you're ready to go ahead and authenticate your browser. So just type in Firebase login. It will ask you to choose the account with which you want to authenticate Firebase. You need to click on that account and you will have to provide access to the CLI. Once done, the CLI login successful message will be displayed to you, and you will actually see it in the terminal that you have been successfully logged in. And now you're ready to go ahead and use that command. But for that, you will need the project ID, and you will have to go to the Firebase project settings to find the project ID here. Copy the project ID and type in the command Firebase project ID and then deploy. So the deployment starts. Once the deployment is complete, it will give you a summary of where the project has been deployed, and you can actually copy paste this into your browser to check out how the app looks. If you miss out on adding a slash root, then it will take you to your main site. So you will have to manually type in login. I still have nothing here. But before we can add anything here, we actually need to configure the database. To configure the database, come to your Firebase console and click on database. Next, click on create database, and for now, I'll choose to start it in test mode, but it's up to you. If you are comfortable with the rules in Firebase databases, then go ahead and make a production build. There are no issues with that. And then let's choose a location and then click on done. Once the provision has been completed, you can go to your app, click on the plus button, enter any long URL. Let me quickly enter my site and let me make it me. And that's it. You have successfully added your first short URL. Now go ahead and copy the short URL and try running it in a different browser tab. There we go. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope your installation is successful. If your installation is not successful, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to find a solution for you.